Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Know Yourself Experience, coaching experience. How's everybody doing? Please, if you're watching this live, let me know where you're watching from. And if you're watching the replay, why just type in hashtag replay fam and also let me know where you're watching from. Guys, we are finally here. Thank you so much for all those who are here and for those who are watching live. This is the Know Yourself Experience. My name is Gus. I am your host and your coach for today. How are y'all doing? Good? I'm glad. Today, guys, we are going to I'm super excited because this is something that's super passionate to me. We'll get into my story in a second, but we are taking the very first step to finding a purposeful career. There's a good chance that if you're watching this, you are someone who who is looking to find fulfillment in their career, something that helps them take care of their family, something that helps them just find fulfillment, right? Purpose, which is that's what fulfillment, where you find fulfillment, right? So today, in the Know Yourself experience, is really taking the very first step to finding a purposeful career, which is to know yourself. If you're watching this in the comment section, just write "Know Yourself," right? Uh, without further ado, I want to get right into it and I want to really introduce who I am. Again, my name is Gus. I am a career coach. I've been working with Gen Z for over a decade, and really my journey started about 14 years ago. Whenever I found myself dealing with anxiety, dealing with uncertainty, and with a lack of clarity. To be honest with you, I went to a college. It was my first time in college. I was about 18 years old, and and I went to apply for a music program, and I got denied. I got rejected, and it was one of the at that time, right? It was one of the worst moments of my life because it did produce a lot of anxiety, where my identity was found in my ability to play music. And when I got rejected from that program, I just said, I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know what I can do in this world. I don't know how I can contribute to this world, right? So my journey began in that rejection. My journey to career clarity and where I am today started with that key moment where I felt rejection. And from on there, it started a journey where I began to uncover who God created me to be. I think we all have a purpose. I think we all have a reason, whether you believe in God or not. I'm a person of faith, but I believe that we are all created for a specific purpose, and we all have a reason why we're here on earth, right? So today we're gonna and I believe that journey to be who you're supposed to be and do what you're supposed to do, which is your purpose, starts with knowing yourself. And we're gonna break down. So today, this is what you can expect, right? So you can expect the roadmap for today is gonna be it's four things. Ready? Number one is we're gonna take the steps to actually know yourself, which is your strengths. What are your strengths? Repeat with me: strengths. What are your values? And what are your passions? Okay. When we talk about knowing yourself and the essential principles to finding a purposeful career, you will find that you have to know these three things. It is in the middle of these three things that you will find fulfillment. Okay. So we're going to take the steps to know ourselves. So in that, we're going to define our terms: what are strengths, what are values, and what are passions. We are also going to actually take the steps to and use the tools that I have used personally to actually know yourself. We're going to define our terms. We're going to figure out how we can know ourselves, how we can uncover our strengths, our values, and our passions. And then we're actually going to uncover who you are. Sound good? The next thing is we're going to figure out how it all works together. So we're going to define our terms, figure out what your strengths, your values, and your passions are. The second thing is we're going to know how all these components work together for a purposeful career. After that, we're going to have a time of Q&A. So if you're in the comment section, type in your questions now. They'll get read to me. And if you're here as we go along, write your questions down so that we can answer them at the end and help you find clarity, right? And at the end, we're going to give you what are the next steps? What can you possibly do after today to assure that you will find a purposeful career? Sound good? All right. Without further ado, we're going to continue on. So the first step is we're going to know yourself. Repeat with me: know yourself. So the first thing we have to know when finding a purposeful career, as you see here, is to know our strengths. Now, what are strengths? You may see here the definition of strength is a positive quality, skills, talents, and innate traits that enable them or enable you to function effectively, achieve goals, and contribute positively to themselves and to others. That sounded like a lot. That is the official definition. My definition is a lot more simple. Your strengths are what you're good at or what you excel in. Guys, there's limiting beliefs out there. You may be watching this and you feel like, man, I'm not good at anything. That's how I felt 14 years ago. I'm not good at anything. If I got rejected from the music program, I'm not good. That's all I'm good for. That was my identity. Guys, we all have strengths. We all have things that we are good at, right? And you are all things, you all have things that you excel in and that you're good at. Now, it is important to understand that you may be watching this and all the strengths you have fall under three categories, okay? The three categories of strength, as I teach always on this channel, on my channel, is natural ability. You have a natural ability to do something. You have a God given talent. You have natural wiring, how your brain works. And then the third thing, the third component of a strength, the third type of strength are skills. Now, your natural ability, when we talk about natural ability, it talks about your talent. What are you born with? It's something, this is not something that someone, that another person gave you, another person taught you. There are things that you are born with that you are uniquely good at. This is, I believe, these are things that are God given. There are things that come naturally to people that they weren't taught to do. For example, my favorite example is because it's visual and you can see it. When we watch sports, we watch LeBron James. You like soccer. We watch Messi, Ronaldo. We can watch tennis. You can watch boxing. There's so many different sports out there. Football. There are people who have a natural physical ability to get things done. Now there are people that I know that don't have a natural ability for basketball, right? They don't have the height, they don't have the athleticism. I'm a pretty tall person myself, but when I stand next to an NBA player, I'm little, I'm small, right? So you can see the natural ability of an athlete who, let's say LeBron James, who has a physical gift. He's 6'9". You can't teach that. He's athletic. He could jump out the gym. He also has a really good eye for passes. That's also something that you can't teach, right? So he has a natural ability. You may be a singer, you may be an artist. There are things inside of you that you are gifted with that you can't teach, right? So that's natural ability. We'll get more into that. Number two, the second type of strength that you may have falls under the category of natural wiring. So this talks about character traits. This talks about your tendencies, your inclinations, how you behave, how your brain processes information. And the third type of strength we find are skills. Now, skills are things that you're good at, things that you excel in, that you are proficient at, but you have acquired through training, you have acquired through development, through learning in different walks of life. An example of skills are the fact that I can speak Spanish. You may learn how to speak another language. You may know how to do something on a computer. You may know how to cook something. These are skills that you naturally that you develop by learning, okay? So all of your strengths fall under one of these three categories. Now, how do you uncover what these things are? There are three ways that in my life I've encouraged people to pursue to find out what their strengths are, to just learn about anything in general. And these three ways I share with you. I've learned it personally, and I've also worked with hundreds of young professionals to help them uncover this, okay? So if you're watching this, write down notes. Whenever you're trying to learn something, it will be in three different ways. Number one, the first way you learn, you will uncover what your strengths are is through self-reflection. Self-reflection. Okay, guys? So it's it is important, this whole process, this whole journey of career discovery and purpose finding it is important for you to be honest with yourself. You are not lying to anybody else but yourself. And guess what? You're not cheating anybody else but yourself. Being self-aware and being honest with yourself is going to be the first step that you have to take, and it's one of the strongest tools that you have at your disposal to be able to understand what you're good at. All right. So self-awareness is going to be the first way. The second way is through outside resources. There are assessments that you can take to find your strengths, which we're going to do today. If you're watching this, I'm going to tell you where to find these strengths, and you can do them on your own time. The people here have already started doing it before this experience started. So there are assessments that you can take. There are things that you can learn from. I remember in my journey, I had to be self-aware. I had to learn, okay, what am I actually good at? Compare it to the world. But I actually took a few assessments, and there are tons of them. And I'm agnostic to any test. I say that you should take all of them. The more tests you take, the better because it helps give a language to what you do, and that's what we're going to do today. So you have assessments that you can take, resources that you can take, strength finders, and things like that. And the third, and I believe is the most powerful way you can uncover what your strengths are is through community. So the three ways are self-awareness, uh, outside resources or assessments, and community. Okay, guys? Now, what do I mean by community? Guys, we are all placed surrounded by people. We all have people in our lives that can help us uncover who we're meant to be. My recommendation always will be to find someone in your life, to surround yourself with people who love you, who care about you, who want to see you do well, who are not trying to tear you down, but rather build you up. My recommendation is to always work with people in your community, preferably someone older, right? You can uncover your strengths by asking people, your mom, your dad, your uncle, your pastor, your youth leader, your teacher, a career coach, right? Gus right here, right? You can surround yourself with people, preferably who are older than you, who are more mature than you, who can speak into you, right? Who've been where you've been, and it can help you find that clarity. That's really key. So, how you can uncover your strengths? Those are the three ways, and we're going to utilize all three of those today and how that it works, right? So, so when we talk about strengths, we have what? Natural ability, natural wiring, and skills. And how you uncover them is going to be through self-reflection, assessments, and through other people around you, community. Now, on the screen, if you're watching this, I'm going to give you two websites. If you are if you're watching this and the camera is able to zoom in to this QR code, there are two assessments that we're gonna have you fill out today. If you're watching this, fill it out. You could press pause on this part of the video to so that you can take these tests. These are two that I recommend, and this is the starting point, right? I don't want to say this is going to solve all your problems, but this is going to be the first step you take. So the first one is the high five strength assessment. Is a strength test. You can scan the QR code. If you haven't, if you for those of you who are here who have already taken it, then you can just pull up your results. If you are haven't taken it, scan the QR code, and we could break this down. Okay, scan the QR code and start taking it. It takes a few minutes to do. Okay, based on how you answer the questions, it's gonna it's gonna give you some information that you can utilize. All right. So if you're watching the restream, or if you're watching this if replay fam, if you're watching this, just press pause, take this test, and come right back to it. All right. So we're gonna go into the first one, right? The high five strength assessment, or the strength test. Um, for those of you who are here who've seen your results, um, how many of you guys have actually done it? Okay. All right. Uh, Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes, and we're going to I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes to be able to take the test, to finish up, and kind of see what you review. All right, and then we're gonna come back and break down what your findings actually say. Okay, sounds good. So if you're watching this, you could probably press pause or skip ahead, and we'll probably edit this at this point so that you can so that we can continue on. All right, sound good. Majority of you are done. If you're watching the replay, we are back. Alrighty, guys. So as we take this test, where's my clicker at? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. So as you do, we're gonna go over the first high five strength assessment, and it's really gonna go into what the types of strengths are. I like this quiz. I like this test because it's really simple. It's a good entry point. The language is really simple. If you look at the screen here, you have a really good. Let me see if it works. Okay, You have a, let me see. Okay. So in this high five strength assessment review, you can see here that any one of the results that you guys may have had, you'll find it on this chart that's right on top. Okay. Now, each of the results that you guys got are actually part of a personality type, okay, or a type of yeah, personality type, right? So we have four categories. We have doing, we have feeling, we have motivating, and we have thinking. And you'll see certain characteristics that you may have chosen that show up underneath one of these categories. Now, what does this say about you, right? Real quick summary of what each category generally means, right? It's not that you're going to pigeonhole yourself to this, but it's a general guide and a general direction, right? So the doing category, we have the believer, deliverer, focus expert, problem solver, and timekeeper. These may be some of your strengths, and that's good. Now, if you're a doer or someone whose strength is actually doing something, this is someone who knows how to organize, meet a goal, and just make things happen. Okay, you are the type of person that are task oriented. You get things done, and you reverse engineer to actually make that thing happen. So the second category is feeling, someone who knows how to build strong relationships. You see, a strength is actually being a chameleon, somebody who changes, right? Who can adapt. A coach, someone who cares about it. You can already guess which one I am, right? You're an empathizer. That may falls under the feeling category. You will find optimist, and you will also find peacekeeper. Okay, these are all strengths that fall underneath the feeling type of person. Now, this is someone who knows how to build strong relationships that hold a team together. These are people, and they can make a team, individual people or individual parts, better together. Okay. The third category that we see here is the motivating type. We find some strengths underneath this person will be a catalyst, a commander, a self-believer, a good storyteller, and just a winner, right? You can hold this W, right? If you're watching this, right? So this is the type of person that you will find that you are. Now, motivating is someone who knows how to take charge. They're a leader. There's someone who can speak up, who's not afraid to share what's on their mind, right? How many of you guys are afraid to share what's on your mind? Yeah, all of you are right now, right? Stop the cap. That's what I'm just gonna leave it there. And make sure you are a person that makes sure that your team is heard, and you will be a spokesperson for that team. I think my brother is this actually. He's a motivating. He was a good. He may be a lawyer, right? um, and the fourth category is the thinking category. You will find people who have the strength of being an analyst, a brainstormer, a philiomath, a strategist, and a thinker. Now, in this category, this type of person, someone who generally knows how to absorb, so you know how to intake information, data, numbers, just information. You know how to analyze that information, and you can use that information to make better decisions. Okay, guys? So we have all these strengths. I'd love to hear from a few of you, or just one or two of you. We'll leave it at one if we have time for two. What are some of the results that you got? Anybody?
Um, I got Thinker. Thinker says they enjoy mental activity, intellectual discussions, and spending time alone thinking. They find it hard to work in teams where acting before thinking is the norm.
Okay, and how accurate do you feel like that's accurate?
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty accurate to who I am.
Okay, cool. So, uh, is there a way? Is there an example that you can give that comes to your mind right now, or no? Of you being a thinker? No. Okay, no worries. Yeah. So it's really good to see how okay he took this test. It's really cool. Again, as a coach, I don't want you guys to feel like okay now great I have a category, I have a box. No, I don't believe you should pigeonhole yourself in a box, right? But this is good idea to give you a starting point, give you some language to be able to say, hey, is this true? And but the most important way, remember, we have three ways to uncover your strengths, and this is a resource that you use. It's not what's going to define you, and we'll see how you can use it. I think we'll have time for just one more. Who else wants to do it? You want to give them the mic? Okay, yeah.
I got winners from the quiz.
Okay, you got the winner for motivating.
Yeah.
Okay, what does it say?
Winners can turn any mundane task into a game or challenge because the feeling of competition is essential for them. They feel lost in the environments with no defined measure of success.
Okay, so do you consider yourself a winner?
Absolutely.
That's the way he answered that, right? That was really funny. No, that's good. That's good. So it's interesting again. And do you feel like you have, and maybe you don't have, or if you want to give an example of that in your life that you can think about of that being the case, a small, quick example that this may be true.
Yeah, because I don't really feel like any accomplishment. Like I like when I win. Like when I lose, I don't feel anything. But
Okay.
yeah,
And believe it or not, this is something that people, and I appreciate you sharing that, bro. There are people who who don't think this is a strength. You may, and again, it's really interesting when we talk about strengths, and the reason why it's easy to overlook them is because they come easy to you, right? And that's really good. So I want you guys to take these strengths. You have the results there. You can save them, review them. We're gonna apply this later on to what strengths are, okay, and how they fit into your purposeful career. So really cool. So for those of you, I think you should have already done this one. So we have the other assessment that we have is the learning style assessment, where you will uncover well, basically this is an insight, and this is a really good test that I enjoy personally, that helps, it gives you insight to your natural wiring, okay. It gives you strengths, but it is, this test is really cool, and it helps you uncover again your natural wiring, how your brain processes information. And one of the ways that your brain processes information is your learning style, okay. How you learn, how you process that, right. So we could take this as a, you guys should have already done it. You guys have done it? Cool, okay. You guys have done it. So we're gonna go into what you may have found, okay? If you're watching this, just press pause, uh, scan the QR code that we saw earlier. You could screenshot it if you're watching on your phone, and then click on the QR code and it takes you to that. Press pause, take it, and then come back. Um, and but if those of you are here, we're gonna go into what you may have uncovered, okay? If this clicker, there we go, cool. I had to extendo armo, bruh. Okay. All right, so we have the learning style assessment review, all right? So here's what we find. I want you guys to understand this fundamental principle. Your learning style is literally how your brain processes and retains new information. Okay, guys? This test is really cool because, again, it gives a language and you can always backtrack it to your experience, to what you've lived through, to your community, which we'll get to the more details of that in a second. But there are four types of learning styles, right? One of them, in this particular test, it combines two of them. But again, through self-realization, through self reflection, you can consider these, which one you are. But in the actual assessment, there are three general types. You are either a visual learner, you're an auditory learner, or you're a hands-on learner or a kinesthetic. Some people call it physical, or some other tests call it tactile, right? And there is a fourth category, which is kind of a subdivide to auditory and visual. It's like in between, it's reading and writing. Okay. Now, this is really important when you're trying to find out what purposeful career you're meant to do, because you're literally looking into how your brain just sees the world, how your characteristics, and then how your brain just processes the information. And some of you guys have probably, or if you're watching this, probably feel frustrated. You're trying to go to college, you're trying to do all these things, but you don't even know what's the best way of learning, right? You don't know how your brain even works. So this is really important for you to take. Okay, so we have these four learning styles. Now, visual generally speaks to someone who has to see things, who can learn things just by watching them. Okay, I am a very visual learner. As when I was younger, I think naturally I'm a visual learner, right? Visual, you're a person who can learn by watching graphs. You are a person who can learn by watching videos on YouTube. You are a person who just see things done. Somebody can show you how to do things, and you get them done, and you immediately pick up on it. Uh, the second learning style is auditory, which you hear, you can process information. You may be watching this on YouTube, you may be watching this on another platform, and you're just listening to it. And if you're obtaining all the information that I'm giving you, that okay, you can obtain new information, you can repeat it afterwards, and just apply it just by hearing it. Okay, pretty simple. And then we have reading and writing. You are a person who actually remembers things and learns things just by writing them down, right? This is really effective. A simple way that I think all of us have done at one point in our lives is when we were in elementary school and we had a spelling test every Friday or Thursday, however your school works. You will have to, okay, your homework every night was to write the word 15 times. And you have to write each word 5 times. And then the next one, there was 10 words, and you ended up writing it a bunch of times. And that's a really cool thought, but not everybody has that learning style. Some people can obtain new information just by writing it, by writing it, and then by reading it. It's really cool because even my father, right? He's the first person that I saw that can actually do this. He had a photographic memory. He will read something and he'll boom and he'll just remember it just by reading it once. It's almost like he could see it in his forehead afterwards, in his brain. And then the fourth learning style is hands-on. You are a type of person that doesn't learn by reading books. You are not the type of person that learns by just listening to somebody speak for 40 minutes. You're a person that the best way you learn how to is hands on. You have to do the thing. I remember when I was in my experience, for those who don't know, who don't follow, who may be new to the channel, I used to work uh, at Chick-fil-A for a long time, and I was a training director. And for me, I was really passionate about how can I equip the people coming in the best way possible. And I already knew about the learning style, and what I incorporated into the training of the everybody coming in who had to learn how to work in the kitchen or work in the front is all three learning styles. Okay, what is your learning style? Are you a hands-on learner? Great. If I'm training somebody who's more of a hands-on learner, I will tell them one or two cents, hey, this is what we do, this is what we do, show them a couple of times, but I will try to get them to spend as much time as possible actually doing the task, actually making a sandwich, actually putting the fries, actually taking an order, and they'll figure it out, right? So what I always encourage you to do is to be a holistic learner. Whenever you're in a learning experience, try to apply all four, even if it's not your learning style, because it's another channel of how you can learn, and it's going to make your retention that much higher. But always being aware of what your strongest learning style is, and that test can tell you, right? It gives you a percentage, right, guys? It gives you a percentage of what your your learning style may be. So which one is percentage wise, which one you're more effective is more effective for you. Now the cool thing about this test is that it gives you four other insights to how you are, who you are, and based on how you answer these questions. And we're gonna touch on this generally speaking. So you have four categories. You see four sliding scales on that assessment. It's gonna show you one end is gonna be one, there's four comparisons, okay? There's four, it's called dichotomies, but you have four scales that you'll see. In one scale, you have sensing versus intuition, okay? Now this chart, you may have never heard of these words before, you don't even know what they mean, and that's fine. We're going to break it down a little bit for you today. So sensing versus intuition. You may be a person who's more sensing when when you process gather information. This one specifically talks about how you gather information. So, how you gather and process information. Number one, you are more sensing. Now, sensing focuses on the physical world and immediate reality. They prefer, if your scale shows more on the sensing side, you prefer concrete facts, specific details, practical applications based on past experience. So you're more of a, hey, what do we know? What are the facts? What can you prove? What's measurable? What's attainable, right? This is what's important to you. And this is how you gather information. Now, rather, the other side of it is intuition. Intuition speaks more about a person who okay, they look at the numbers, but they try to read in between the lines. What are the patterns? What are the meanings? What are the future possibilities based on what we see here? They're not just based on, okay, what's happened before, what's going to happen now. No, they gauge other elements outside in between the lines, right? They read in between the numbers essentially, and they all they are often considered abstract thinkers who prefer theories and big picture ideas over the literal data. So, and I think both of these are important, but you may tend to lean one way or another, and I'll tell you how you should navigate this uh, this balance, right, between both. The next category, you are either so for some of you, you may be more sensing or more intuition. How many of you are more sensing? Okay, cool. And how many of you are more intuitive? Okay, cool. So hey, like a lot of you guys may be more intuitive. That's cool. Now let's talk about thinking versus feeling, the next category. It's talking about your decision making process. It's not just how you process information, it's how you make decisions. So If you're a thinking, if your category is more of a thinking, you prioritize again logic, consistency, and objective criteria. Hey, what do I know? I don't want to guess. I want to know what I know. What are the facts? What can you measure? Okay. You aim for impartial decisions. You detach yourself from the situation, and you are the type of person who analyzes facts. You're the type of person who cares about facts over feelings. You don't care about how you feel. You care about just what it is, right? But the other side of it is you are a feeling type of person. You're more of a thinker or you're more of a feeler, right? And the feeling prioritizes personal values and the impact of decision on others. They seek harmony and make choices based on empathy and subjective human concerns. You may see there's people who care about feelings and people who care more about the facts. You naturally lean more one toward the other, and it's important for you to realize this. I remember coaching people in my previous career, in my previous job, where I had to help leaders. Hey, like you were too hard on this person, right? You were too rough on this person. Okay. And they're like, yeah, but it's the truth. I understand that, but you have to be aware of the feeling of how you say things. So I think in all these categories, I'll just say it now. You lean one way, right, guys? You all lean one way. And it's important for you to understand which way you lean. But it's also important for you to consider, okay, how can I be more balanced in everything? Because that's just going to make you a better professional moving forward, okay? But you have to understand how you naturally feel and how you do things, okay? The next category that it gives you in this review is judging versus perceiving. How you interact with the external world and manage your lifestyle. Okay, this is how you relate to other people. Okay, so judging prefers, if you're more of a judging type of person, it's not like you're roasting somebody or you're making fun of them or you're condemning them, right? But it's really prefers structure, order, and clear plans. Again, you're more of a facts and systems types of person. They tend to be decisive, goal oriented, and feel most comfortable when tasks are completed and decisions are made. Again, you're more of a task person, you're more of a doer. These are things that are important to you. Rather, a perceiving person prefers flexibility, spontaneity. You're more spontaneous and keep your options open. If you're more of a perceiver, then these people they're adaptable. They like to change. They enjoy gathering new information. Then reacting to final conclusion immediately. You like to collect data. You're more free flowing. Okay, guys. And the last one, which is the one that most people know about, you're an introvert or an extrovert. How many of you are introverts? I feel like a lot of you are introverts. And extroverts? Okay, guys, I'm an extrovert. It's no doubt. That's why I'm standing here today, and I just like helping you guys, right? So, if you're an introvert or extrovert, let me see here. Really, introverts, for those of you who may not be aware of it, that's fine. Introverts are a type of person that gain energy by being alone, quiet, in a private time. You get tired being with other people. When you're with too many people for too long, you just get drained, okay, and your energy drains. But if you're an extrovert, you actually gain energy by being with people. The more people, the more alive you feel, right? And the more alone you are, the more drained and tired and just grumpy you are. I'm definitely an extrovert, though I think the older you get, you become a little bit more introverted. So that skill tends to go further, right? So these are two reviews. It's important for you guys to understand this uh, and just hold on to that, right? So whenever we're talking about uncovering your strengths, it's remember we have assessments. We just took two of them. There are tons of others, right? There's Clifton Strengths Assessment. There's ONET. There's the Enneagram. There's the DISC assessment, right? There's so many other assessments that you can take that can give you a language to who you are. But none of these, I want you guys again. These are tools that you will use. They're not what's going to guide your life. They're not going to determine or box you into who you are. Okay, guys. So it's really important to understand there's two other ways for you to be able to understand what your strengths are or just to understand who you are. The first one, which I mentioned previously, is self awareness. You have to look within yourself. And the third way, right, is for you to look to a community, to a group of people. If you are not a community, I'm going to tell you this for the first time. I'm going to tell you again and again and again. Surround yourself with people, guys. Surround yourself with people. Listen to your parents. If your parents have shown, hey, like they love you, they care about you. If you have a dad or you have both parents, you just have one parent, you have an uncle, an aunt, a youth leader, a pastor, a coach, a teacher in school. Find people who have shown that they actually care about you and have them invest in you and ask them questions. And I have a few questions here that have helped me. And when I've asked them to young professionals, they have helped them tremendously. And I want us to take some time to reflect on these questions. Okay, guys. Um, the first question that you have to ask yourself in order to uncover your strengths, remember, self-awareness, but also realizing like, hey, can I uh, answer these questions for myself? But also ask the two or three people that are in my life that know me, that are a little older than me, that can help me answer these questions. But you try to answer them first within yourself, and I want you guys to spend some time answering this question, these four questions. Okay. Number one, where do I succeed? Where do I succeed? Okay, guys. So your strengths are going to be found in things that you can actually do. Now, what does success look like? I have a couple of examples here. If you're in school right now, how many of you are in high school? Cool. All right. How many of you are already out of high school? You're not in. You may be in college, or you're not out of college and you're working. Okay, great. So, and if you're watching this, let me know whether you work or whether you're in school or you happen to do both. If you do both, you can answer both of these questions. Okay. How do you find where do I succeed? An example could be is in school, what are your top three classes? I want you to pull up your phone, pull up your grades, and tell me what are your top three grades, right? Tell me, are you better at math? Is math? Do you get straight A's? Getting an A in math is easy for you. Are you in English? Are you better at English? Are you better at science? Are you just in gym? Right? Gym is the easiest, eh, the highest, and the easiest grade that you can get. So consider those two things. What is the highest grade you have, and how easy was it for you? Because that's actually going to tell you what your strengths are. It's going to kind of guide you in that direction. And if you're a person that works, what position at work do you succeed in the most? What is something that you do better than anybody else at your job? I remember whenever I was hiring people again when I was working in restaurants, I would always hire people, and if I needed somebody to say a Chick-fil-A work in the front counter, that is a specific type of person that I would hire, right? It is a specific type of person that when you go to Chick-fil-A and you get your order and they say, "My pleasure, welcome to Chick-fil-A. How can I serve you?" Right? What do you always see in that person? A smile, right? You see them happy. Is a certain just type of person, which is fine. If you don't do that, that's fine. That's just not your personality type. Should you always grow? Yes. But I would always hire a specific type of person to work in the front who was friendly, who was courteous, right? But it's a totally different type of person who would work in the kitchen, right? It's a different skill set. So where you place that work. I would always hire people who I felt like based on certain principles that I know of how a person who works in the kitchen or how a person works up front wants to, and we can elaborate more on that later. But how would they, where would they fit best? And it's really important that if you're working, what do you do better than anybody else at your job? What position do you excel in naturally, and you feel like it's easy for you, right? So it's my mic. I think. Okay. I think it's my mic. Okay, cool. Let me see. All right, cool. So let me see. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. All right. So as far as what your strengths go, where you succeed at is going to be super important. Where you place that at work. So these are questions you can answer. So right now, real quick, tell me what your top three classes are. What are your top three grades? Okay, my bro. What is your number one class?
Jim,
Gym. All right. Super, we got an athlete over here. Okay, cool. How about you? What's your best class?
Um, my best class is math.
Math. Okay,
Yes.
cool. So, guys, you're already getting some insight of what your strengths are because it's a different type of person who can excel in math versus reading, right? There's a different type of person, a different personality type, a different way your brain works to exceed in math. You're more of a systems person. You're more of analytical information. You can recognize formulas, patterns, and you're really good at math. If you're good at gym, that means you're an all-star athlete who may be in the NBA one day, right? Or if you're in reading, you can reading comprehension is a thing you can tell stories or deduct information from a long passage and what are the principles and what can you learn from it, right? Different kind of intelligence. Okay, guys. The other question you may ask yourself is, what do people compliment you for? What do people in your life tell you, hey, wow, thank you for doing that. That was really awesome. I had a young guy that I was coaching, and he was. I asked him, hey, what do people compliment you for? Or another question that you can ask yourself is, what do people ask you help with? You can go back to school. Hey, in school, what class do people help you in? I'm sure that for my bro over there, people ask him help in math class because he's good at math, or aka they try to cheat on your test. If you're trying to cheat off of somebody in math class, then that person's probably good at math. There's a reason for it, right? I don't encourage cheating on. I don't personally encourage cheating, but these are good ways that you can find out. Hey, if somebody's asking you for help in a certain area of class or at work, consider those. Hey, those are strengths. Write those things down. What do people compliment you for, or what do people ask you help with? Okay, guys? And honestly, and the fourth question you can ask yourself is, what do I feel confident doing? If I were to ask you guys, hey, can you make me a bowl of cereal? How many of you can make it? Okay, that's a little concerning sometimes, right? Some of you know, all right. But honestly, if I go to your house, hey, can you give me a bowl of cereal? You guys can make it. You feel confident doing that, right? Because it's an easy task for you. What are things in school, at work, maybe in church, maybe in your community, wherever you find yourself, and again, wherever life has you? These are just some easy examples I feel like can apply to everybody. But what do people ask you help with, or what do you feel confident actually doing? They say, hey, I can do that. I'm good at acting. I'm good at theater. I'm good in gym class. People pick me first for the basketball teams, like they do for my bro over there, right? um, so so these are questions that you can ask yourself, okay, guys? And I want you guys to just write whatever answers come to your mind quickly. Just write these things down, okay? Now, these questions are actually insightful because you're going through your life experiences, and you can actually ask the people in your life, "Hey, what do you think I'm good at?" I remember my mom would tell me, "Hey, you're a great teacher," and I'm like, I didn't believe her, and it was just because I was ignorant. My head wasn't for some reason right. Right, I was just I don't know what I was thinking, but many years later, I wish I would have listened to her, right? Because my mom actually knew she was a person who loved me, who was mature, who can see the gifts that I have placed inside of me. And here's why it's important for somebody older than you to speak into you, because somebody who's older than you has seen more than you. Somebody who's lived 40 years and they tell you that, hey, you're really good at teaching. It is somebody who can someone who can tell you, who's 20 years older than you, who says you're good at teaching, is somebody who's seen more teachers than you have, and they can speak into that, right? So I want you guys to find the value in that, okay, guys? Um, Now it's really important. So these are questions you can ask yourself, and I want you guys to write down these answers, and we're gonna break them down in a little bit, okay? Now I created a list. This is just like a startup list that you can use if you're really struggling with saying, "Man, Gus, I really don't know. I don't even know where to start." Um, I don't know where to start with my like, hey, what am I good at? These are a few types, right? And I even broke them into categories. You have cognitive or mental abilities. These are some of the strengths. You have logic and reasoning, right? You are quickly able to identify patterns, solving problems, critical thinking. That may be a strength for you. You have a good memory. You learn quickly. You can pick information up a lot faster just by however learning style you use, right? You're good at coming up with ideas. You're creative. You like to solve problems. Oh, we can do this. We can do that. You're really creative when it comes to what you do. And the other one is observation. I do not have that gift, ladies and gentlemen. If you, I am not an observant, naturally observant person. My wife totally is. Love you, babe. But noticing subtle details in people or in things that you do, right? This actually a strength you're good at. And I think for the most part, the girls in the room and if you're watching this, if you're a lady, that tends to be more of a person. They're more detail oriented. They notice different things where guys are just like, I don't know, right? You also have creative and artistic abilities. This is somebody who may be good at music, playing instruments. You understand pitch and rhythm. I'm a musician. I have a natural ability to understand pitch and rhythm. Visual arts, you're maybe good at drawing, at painting. Uh, Performance, you're good at acting, public speaking, or storytelling, right? You may be in musical theater, all these things. You have also interpersonal and leadership abilities. You're a good communicating, storytelling, and convincing others. You have a natural leadership gift. You have a person you're good at leading teams and resolving conflicts. There's actually Leadership is a skill you can develop, but some people just have a natural ability to lead. There are people that growing up when I saw them in a park, they would gather all the kids, and I'm like, what do you? Whoa, how do you even do that, right? They just have a natural leadership gift. All the kids will surround them, and they'll organize things, and fun would happen at the park, right? Uh, Another type of strength is empathy and self awareness. You're good at understanding emotions and building connections with people. These are all strengths, guys. If you're a person who your friends come to and ask for help, hey, I'm going through this problem, and they always say thank you for helping them, even if they don't say thank you, you feel like you really helped them. That's a strength. That's a natural ability. You're not a psychologist yet, right? You didn't get the training, but you are naturally a person who is empathetic and you have self awareness with people. Another type of strengths are physical abilities and spatial abilities, right? People who can run fast, who can jump high, sports performance. You understand spatial reasoning, right? That's another type of physical ability after athletics. Understanding objects in space, useful for engineering and architecture. That's I definitely don't have that gift naturally. Or fine motor skills, dexterity with hands for tasks like drawing or coding. My Marcus, bro, he cooked me in any video game that exists except 2K, right? Because I totally cooked him in that, right? But he's good with his hands on, right? He dexterity. Any other game he has. If you're good at video games, some of the guys who are good at video games, I do not have that skill. And yes, there's a natural ability, even though you learned how to use that natural ability and a skill, right? So these are just a few types of strengths. If one jumps out at you, write it down, consider it. This is just to help you kind of take the language, okay, guys? Now, I know we talked about a lot. You may feel overwhelmed at this point, but really the point of this and this hold on, the clicker starts working. I want you guys to really answer the following questions. Um I want you guys to reflect on what we talked about here, right? On the tests you've taken, on the answers to your questions about your personal life, right? What do people congratulate you for? What do people tell you, hey, I need help with this? What do you feel confident doing? And where do you actually see good results in your school, in your work, in your community, right? I want you guys to write down, hey, out of everything you may have written down, what are your talents? Write down what you feel your talents are. What do you feel like you're actually good at? What is your natural wiring? Which are you an introvert or extrovert, right? Introvert or extrovert, right? If you're of a more of a free thinker or you're more of a logical person, right? Uh, what are your talents? What do people congratulate you for? What are you good at? Based on the answers, look at the assessments that you have taken, uh, and to kind of give a language. You don't have to write the exact thing, but hey, let's stimulate your brain to be able to process this. Okay, guys. And I want us to reflect on this. And the other one is, what skills are you good at? Remember, guys, natural ability is what you're born with. Skills are things that you're actually good at, but that you learn how to do. So, what I would encourage you to do, and it's just because I want you to be, I want you to be as successful as possible. What skills are you good at? Right, every skill that you know how to do, even if it's making a breakfast sandwich. Hey, I'm really good at making pasta. I'm really good at cleaning my house. I'm really good at decorating. I'm really good at cleaning my room. I'm really good in school. I'm really good at helping my friends. Whatever skills you know how to do, things that you can actually do, right? Whether it be a hard skill, which is a physical thing that you can actually do, like build a computer, or you know how to make an actual like meal, or a soft skill. You're a good leader. You're good at communicating, right? These are things that you've learned and you developed in school, public speaking, whatever it may be, and they may not be natural talents, but they are things that you can do, and you do them well. Write those things down, and we're going to explain how these things work later on. All right, guys. Um, we're going to take a few minutes, right, so that we can end, so we can um, just take a break if you need to use the restroom. Uh, if you need to use the restroom, let me. If you need to use the restroom, drink some water. We have some drinks here that you can take, that you can drink. And then we're just gonna connect. If you have any questions, like in the time, we'll talk a little bit. We'll give it about 5 minutes, and then we'll resume back with, we've uncovered strengths, and we're gonna come back and talk about passions and values, Q&A, and then what's next. Okay, guys. All right. Thank you, guys. Let's take a 5 minute break. Testing one. All right, cool. All righty, guys. Let's get back. All right. How you guys doing? Good? How many of you guys drank the Coke or the brisk iced tea? I'll just be drinking a Coke afterwards, so that's fine. You guys feeling good? You guys ready? How are you guys feeling so far? Good? Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you guys are feeling well. I'm again. This is really exciting for me because it's something that I'm passionate about, and I'll share again how that could look like for you, right? Seeing you guys take the step and to be who you're supposed to be and do the purposeful work that you're meant to do. For me, that's honestly what I'm here for, right? So I'm excited to see you guys, to hear your stories, and we're gonna be connecting more afterwards, right? But I want to get right back into it so that we can take good advantage of this time that we have left, the few moments that we have left together. So far we're talking about the know yourself uh, uh, the principle of knowing yourself, right? This is the very first step to finding a purposeful career, guys. And to finding a career that aligns with that purpose, you have to know yourself. And so far, the first thing that we've learned about ourselves are our strengths, right, guys? So you guys are people who are gifted. You all have strengths. You all have things that you're good at that you're naturally wired to do. And we've been figuring that out today, right? And if you're watching the live stream, I hope that you are able to follow along with us and you are feeling motivated, excited for this career discovery journey, right? So we're going to go right into it. So the first thing that we learned about is strengths. Now, the next two things that we must learn about. The next thing that we're going to cover are, see if it comes up here. Let's see. So whenever we talk about strengths, let me see. Let me see. Should I try? Let me see. Okay, cool. There we go. All right. This fancy clicker is working again, alive. So the next thing we're going to cover and what you have to know about yourself to find a purposeful career are your passions. Who repeat after me, passions. So your passions are everybody talks about, oh, follow your passion, follow your oh, I want to do something I'm passionate about. Okay, what does that even mean, right? And really passion, the actual definition of it is an intense desire or enthusiasm for something. Okay, you have an intense or a strong desire or want for or an enthusiasm that you care about something, just something, right? Now, for me, my definition, and this is true, but I like to define passion of something that makes you feel alive, right? Whenever you have a desire for something or or you're enthusiasm or you're feeling enthusiastic about something, sorry, my English stopped working, it makes you feel alive, right? Now, all of our passions, if you're watching this, if you're hearing me here, all your passions, anything you may be passionate about, falls under one of three categories again. And it's important for us to understand this to find, it helps us find clarity in what we're passionate about. So the first thing that you may be passionate about are a group of people. I listed some examples here of a group of people that we find in our lives that you may have encountered, or there's so many more people that you can fall into this category. But there are young people. A lot of you guys are younger, right? There are old people. There are people who another example here, we have orphans, people who don't have their parents, who were abandoned, who are in the foster care system, right? There is a specific race. There's Latinos, even within Latin American races. There's 22 Hispanic countries out there, right? You may be white, black, Asian. There are a group of people in this world. There's divided by grace, by orphans, by age, by life experiences, and things like that. Okay, these are just examples of them. There are people, you may be here and you actually care about a group of people. Okay, the second type of a passion that you may have is for a cause. There are problems in this world, there are things that are happening that you care about. Okay, you may find yourself, hey, I'm passionate about homelessness. I feel bad. I feel it makes me feel some type of way, right? It makes me feel like, oh man, I can't. But this is something that's on my mind. I care about it. It makes me feel alive, but it doesn't mean you feel good, right? It just makes you you're conscious and it gets your heart beating, right? Alive doesn't mean good. Alive means that you feel something and that you feel passionate about something, right? It may be a cause. You may care about homelessness. You may care about abuse. You may care about child abuse. You may care about domestic violence. You may care about just all kinds of different types of abuses that you hear nowadays in society, right? That's unfortunate. Or you may be a person who cares about your environment. You care about global warming. You care about how we take care of the earth that we're given because we only have one, right? So it is important for us to realize, hey, you may be passionate about a group of people. You may be passionate about a problem or a cause. And the third thing that we may be passionate about is a specific task. You may find yourself that you care about actually speaking. You like talking. I am a person who likes talking, as if you couldn't tell yet, right? I like speaking. Or you may be a person who's passionate about graphic designing. You like creating graphics. You actually like the process of doing it. Some people may be passionate about cooking. You just care about, man, cooking is cool. Like I like the thought of putting spices together, making something tasty, right? There are people who care about actually like the task of building a business, of making money. There's these are just a few examples, but one of your passions, what you care about, falls under one of these three categories. All right, guys. Now, this is important to understand uh, uh, because some of us may feel one of these things, may be passionate about just a group of people, or just you like doing something, you like doing sports, you like playing video games, whatever it may be. You may be passionate about multiple categories or just one of them, right? But we all have something we care about that we are passionate about. All right? And we'll touch more on passions and how it fits in a second. The next thing that we have to uncover whenever we're finding a purposeful career are your values, okay? And I'll share why I'm explaining both of these together and we're going to pair them in because we're going to find something extremely powerful, okay, guys? Your values. Values, what is the definition of values? You may have never heard this word before, but you may not even understand the concept, and we're going to explain it. So your values are a person's principles or standard of behavior. Okay, guys, this is principles and things that are important to you. These are your standards of how you act and how you what you say and what you do. Okay. Another way you can think about it, and my definition is values are what is important in your life. Okay, guys? This is what's important to you. All right? It doesn't necessarily make you feel alive, but these are things that, hey, I'm not negotiating. This is really important to me. You can think about it in two analogies as a GPS, right? If you're driving in a car, you have a destination, right? You have somewhere you need to go. What do you use? A GPS, right? A GPS tells you where to go, and you filter your decisions based on the GPS, how long it takes to get there. But values are your GPS. Or another analogy is that values are an anchor. Repeat with me, anchor. Values are an anchor. If you think about a boat has a destination, a boat has what it does, but an anchor is what keeps it where it's at. An anchor is what keeps the boat, hey, this is what's important, this is what keeps me grounded. This is what I find is just important, right? So values act like the GPS in your life, or they act as an anchor. Okay, guys? Now, when we talk about values, it's important to understand that there's two kinds of values, especially when thinking about a career. There's what's known as personal values, there are what's known as professional values. Okay, guys? Um, I listed some examples here, but there's so many more. Again, to help kind of stimulate your brain. Personal values, you may find that honesty is something that's important to you. How many of you value honesty? Hopefully, we all say we all do, right? Uh, Respect. How many of you value respect? Creativity. Some of you may like being creative. Some of your personal values are actually your family. You care about your family. Your family is what's most important to you. And loyalty. You're a person that cares about somebody being loyal to you and actually just being committed to you, all right? These are some examples of personal values. Professional values. These are things that you may find that is not just important to you personally, though they may come from that. Your professional values are something that you're expecting in work, like in your professional career. Hey, these are things that I would want from a career. These are important to me, and they may even be a non-negotiable if they're truly a deep value for you. So these are things like teamwork. You value teamwork. That you value hard work. You value flexibility. You want just the flexibility professionally. You value growth. You want to get better. You want to grow within the company or the organization, and you value dependability. You want to be able to count on people. Now, it's important to understand that values um, they affect how you act with people, but then also how you perceive people as well. If a person values respect, you should be the type of person who respects others, who you say yes or no, sir, right? And how you talk and how you act. But it's important that if this is a personal value for you, this is something that if somebody doesn't do to you, if somebody doesn't respect you, you're going to get mad about it. It's going to affect you deeply. You may get sad, you may get angry, right? So your personal values are something that how you when you choose to act with the world, this is something that's innate in you. You value teamwork, so you're going to be a person who works well with teams, hopefully, right? But this is actually something that you want others to be able to incorporate you in that same principle as well. So values are something that how you choose to present yourself to the world. It's the how you do things, and then but you also, if something's important to you, you want people to do that same principle back to you. Respect, loyalty. You want your family to care about you, to be loyal to you, right, etc. Now, values and passions. This is why I explain what both of these are together. But I really want to get this is something that it really impacted my life, and I hope it really impacts you, and I know it will. Um, Passions and values. Passions are what you what you care about. Passions are things that make you feel alive, that give you energy, that just stimulate you. And values are more of an anchor. They're more of a filter. They say, hey, this is what's important to me as well. Um, Now, both of these passions and values are found. Remember, there's three ways to uncover anything: through outside resources, through through outside just assessments like we took earlier today for the strengths assessment. There's also self awareness, but there's also a community. Now, there this principle right here is going to change how you view things because it actually combines your self-awareness, how you auto self-reflect, and it's also going to incorporate how uh, your experience with your community. Your values and your passions are found in our life experiences. Repeat with me: life experiences. Values and passions, what you care about, what makes you feel alive, what makes you what's important to you and what makes you feel alive. The most powerful way you can uncover what these things are, you'll find them in your life experiences. Guys, how many of you guys, no matter how old you are, whether you're 12, 13, 16, 18, 30 years old, right? I'm 32. We've all lived through life so far, right? We all have experiences that have shaped us, that we've lived through, that have been very crucial in our lives. You will find your values and your passions, what you truly care about, in in that bucket of life experiences. Okay, guys. So right now, I want us to do a little self reflection. I want us to do a self reflection where it's like, hey, answer these questions right there where you're at. If you're watching at home, press pause and answer these questions. As we fill this out, right? What is the happiest moment of your life? I want you to self-reflect right now. What is if you can think about, man, this is the greatest memory I have of my life. I want you to think about the time you felt most fulfilled. This is I literally feel the most happy. I want you to think about that moment. What is the happiest moment? Break down who was there, what happened, how did you feel in the moment? And then you're going to ask yourself the question, why was that the happiest moment of my life? And you will find that the answer that you give, whenever I coach young professionals, I ask them, hey, tell me your story, right? This is the power of knowing somebody's story because they've lived through something. And as a coach, I love whenever I'm able to work with young people and have them tell me what their happiest memory is, and then just deduct, oh, okay, this is what's important to you. This is what, and deduct the principles that they can apply to their life and move forward with. You can find your values and your passions in the happiest moment of your life, but you can also find them when you ask yourself the question, what is the worst moment in my life? All of us have gone through good moments and through bad moments, right? And sometimes we put a lot of focuses on the bad. But in every one of these moments, again, good or bad, you will find, okay, why? If you answer the question why that was such a bad experience and just write down, just say what it is. You don't have to try to figure it out. That just write down what it is right now. What is it? You don't have to share it. It's going to be private. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. But why was that the happiest moment of your life? Why is that the saddest moment of your life? This is the most powerful question I've asked, and it's yielded the most results because it's something that's attached to you. Remember, if you're trying to find a purposeful career, you have to understand what's purpose is aligned with your heart, with who you are. You're going to have to be vulnerable. If you truly want to find purpose and you truly want to find satisfaction, this is part of the work that you have to do. Now, it's not just going to be a Debbie Downer depressed, but it's going to lead you to fulfillment eventually. Okay, guys? So the question, answer this question. What is the happiest, think about what is the happiest moment of my life and then why? What is the worst moment of my life? And then ask yourself why that was and just write everything that you can think of. And then you would also ask yourself, what would you have done different or kept the same? If it's the happiest moment of my life, hey, if if I could have this moment again, what would I keep the same? What's the one or two, the two or three things that I would, hey, I want this is the key reason. And this will actually help you specify to be able to dig deep. Okay, this is what I'm truly what's truly important to me. Or if you went through a bad situation and say, hey, what would I have done differently, then you go through that, right? You go through that and you say, okay, this is what I would have done differently. These are self revealing questions. There's assessments out there that can tell you, hey, this was important to you. The other assessments kind of give you some insight, but there's nothing more important than asking yourself these questions to self reflect, but then to also consider that, hey, you're reflecting on what you've lived through in the context of community. Your greatest successes, your greatest failures, your greatest ups, your greatest downs, the best moments of your life and the worst moments of your life are probably surrounded with people and things that happen. Okay, guys, that's the fact of the matter. Um, so as we uncover this, guys, you will understand that again, this is what we're doing. So finding your values and your passions. Um, I'm gonna give you guys 2 more minutes to fill this out. If you're watching this, you could I'll probably edit it or we can move forward. But I'm gonna give you guys 2 more minutes to finish this out. It seems like some of you are done, but I want to give you some time. Okay, guys? Cool. Let's just take 2 minutes real quick. Okay, guys? Alrighty, guys. Dang, those fingers are going on your phones. I used to hear the pens and stuff like that. No, it's really good, guys. I really hope you're finding value in this. If you're watching online, just let me know if you are finding value. Uh, guys, your strengths, your values, and your passions, right? These are things that you have to know to find a successful career. And going into what your values and your passions are, answering these questions about your life, right? Um, what is the happiest moment of your life? These will give you some insights, right? Of what is the worst moments of your life. The reason I'm here today is because I had moments in my life where that sucked. When I got rejected from the music program, I felt like I lost my identity and I didn't know I knew what that feeling was, and it led me to want to help Gen Z and help the people that I've encountered in the last 14 years to be able to say, hey, I don't want you to feel that way. This is what I've been learning. And as the journey went on, now I've incorporated this whole framework so that I can help now with this framework that life has taught me, honestly, be able to help you guys today. So it's been a journey for me as well. But every moment, every journey is built on good and bad moments. So for you guys, I hope you're able to write down what has been those key moments that you face, right? Whether you were in school, right? Whether you were in school, I was talking to somebody just now, like in those 2 minutes he had finished, and he was telling me that one of his moments was, hey, he got bullied because of the way he dressed, right? In school, that was it hurt him, it impacted him, right? So that's something that's important to him, and that was one of the moments, and I'm like, okay, wow, that's really impactful. That's a key moment that resonated with you. And we're going to see how all this fits together. How many of you guys want to find out how all this works together to find your purposeful career? Okay, guys? We've uncovered, we defined our terms, we figured out how to do these things, and now we're actually going to see how they all work together. Sound good? So you have all your stuff there. You have your strengths. You have what values are important to you. You may some of you wrote the list that's on that previous chart, right? Some of these values are things that are important to you. As you did, that was really impressive. How you guys took the initiative and key moments in your life. So now we're going to let me see. Now we're going to see how does it all work together, guys. So we have our strengths. Repeat with me, strengths. We have our passions. Repeat with me, passions. And we have our values, guys. So, how do these things work together? I'm going to make it really simple for you guys. We've uncovered the official definition of each of these things, but I want you guys to leave this experience today with this clarity in mind. Okay, guys? My bad. I overclicked. Okay, so the first thing that you realize are your strengths, passions, and values. Okay, I want you to realize this. Your strengths are the things you do well, okay? When it comes to your purposeful career, your strengths are what you're going to do. Okay, guys? Repeat with me what? Strengths are your what you're going to do. The tasks that you're actually going to do to be successful, okay, guys? Now, this is important. You have to do to find ultimate fulfillment. You want to help, you want to serve, use your strengths. That's what you're actually going to be doing. And then your passions are where you're going to use those strengths. Okay, guys? So whether you're passionate about a group of people, whether you're passionate about a cause or even a task, you are going to use your strengths uh, in your passion. Your passion is not, and you could be passionate about a task. Now, if your strengths are something that you are good at, but that you actually care about, that's awesome. Okay, guys? But if you use your strength to help, you're passionate about a group of people or a cause, what you do, and you're going to do it where your passion is, and that's where you find fulfillment. And then your values are how you approach what you do. Okay, guys? So strengths are what you do, passions are where you do it, and your values are how you do it. Okay, guys? Repeat with me what, where, and how. Okay, guys? So whenever you're looking for career fulfillment, you have to find ultimate satisfaction and to find just fulfillment and everything. You have to use your strengths in your passion, and while you're doing what you're good at in that thing you're passionate about, the how you do things is also going to help with your fulfillment, right? Because nobody wants to do something that in a way that they don't value. Okay, now this is really important because your fulfilling career path will be in there. Now, it's really important because for some of you, you may have strengths, right? You have a list of strengths there. Okay, guys? You have things that you're good at, natural abilities. You have natural wiring. These are things some people may call it weaknesses. These are actually strengths, things that the way your brain works and it gives you insight to how you are. And skills that you have developed. And yes, you will continue to develop skills. That's part of the framework of what's next. But lean into what the skills you have now. And here's the main thing. Whenever I found career fulfillment and I help others do the same, um, you can uh, you should align your skills to serve your natural abilities. Okay, guys, you will serve your skills. Your skills are used to serve your natural abilities. Why is that important? Because I believe we're all created for a specific purpose that's God given. So He has given us the raw materials, the raw tools inside of us to be successful. The same way a microwave is given all the tools it needs to be successful, a microwave is given all the tools it needs to warm our food up, or a fridge is given all the tools it needs to cool our food up, then we are all have given natural things inside of us, and now all we have to do is develop skills that serve that natural ability. A lot of us don't find career fulfillment because we develop skills, but we're not leaning into our natural ability, and you feel like there's something missing, and it's because you're not doing what you were created to do. Okay, guys. Um, and then your passions, you use what you're good at. Now, it's really important to understand that your strengths are where your uh, Honestly, if you were to just lean into your strengths, you would be the type of person who just makes a lot of money, right? So your strengths are your best chance of producing a high income. If you lean into what you're good at, you're gonna produce the highest level of income. Now, here we don't believe that. Yes, it's important to provide for your family. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I want to provide for my family. I lean into my strengths. But it is important that it's not just about the money, but it's also about, hey, serving a passion that you care about, serving a group of people that you care about, serving a cause that you care about. And if your task is something that you're passionate about and you get to serve a group of people in a cause that you care about, guys, that's career fulfillment. That is career fulfillment. And then the values is how you do things, right? The steps you're going to take in your plan. When you're in that task, how do you do it? Okay, guys? So, um, does that make sense to any of you guys? Yeah? Does that make sense? Okay. I would love to pick one person just real quick. We're gonna do it. I want to show you guys what this looks like practically, right? I can give you the example of my life afterwards, like how this all looks like for me and why I'm here. Uh, but for me, actually, let me give you the example now. For me, my strength is that I'm a teacher. I enjoy communicating. I'm an extrovert. That's why I'm in front of you guys here today. I like being in front of people. I'm not scared to be in front of a group of people. My strengths are teaching. My strengths are communicating. My natural wiring is being an extrovert. I'm a person that cares about just, I enjoy being with people. I enjoy feeling people out. That's my personality type. Uh, when I took the high five, I am a coach, which is ironic. When I took it, I was like, oh, great. Yeah, I knew this. I remember I took an assessment when I was in college, and it told me that, hey, my natural ability, a career that I'll be good for is a guidance counselor. And I thought to myself, I did self reflection, right? I was like, huh, what do I like about being a guidance counselor? And I said, oh, being a guidance counselor is something that I enjoy. Okay, what do I enjoy about it? I like the thought of helping people. I like the thought of helping people be who they're supposed to be. I was already on this journey. This is several years ago that I took this assessment. And I didn't end up becoming an official guidance counselor, right? I didn't end up choosing that path to be a guidance counselor at a school, but I took the principle and I know I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to help. And I was able to do that in my previous career. It looked differently, but I learned something about myself. And now my values and my passions, I'm sorry, I'm passionate about Gen Z, right? In the channel and the Purpose Talk podcast that I host, I always talk about helping people be who they're supposed to be and do what they're supposed to do. That came from my life experiences. That came from a moment in my life that sucked, but it also came from a moment where it was great, where I had people help me navigate that season, right? It came from a moment where I was rejected, I was lost, I had anxiety, I lacked clarity, but then I also, a good moment was that people helped me in that path, and now I'm looking to do the same thing. So I care about Gen Z, I care about the cause of helping them find their purpose and a career that aligns with that purpose. You guys see what I mean there? And now that I have those two things, guys, I have career fulfillment. Everything that I do is to help people, and more specifically, in majority of the cases, Gen Z, help them find their purpose and to be who they're supposed to be. We're all called to be the best version of ourselves in every area in our lives, and we're also called to do a specific task that only you can do in the way that you can do it, right? So for me, this is this is how it looks like for me practically. I care about Gen Z. I care about helping them solve this problem of finding a career because it produces a lot of anxiety. I work with a lot of Gen Z and I see the anxiety that it produces and the stress of, man, I have to go to college or I have to do this. Guys, we all have a purpose and I'm here to help you with it. Sound good? And the values are, hey, what's important to me? The reason why I do this and I even strive to be an entrepreneur is because of my values. A lot of entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs because their desire is they value certain things that entrepreneur brings, like flexibility, like uh, uh, self-reliance. They don't have to work for somebody else, for a boss per se, but they work for a group of people that they care about and solving a problem that they actually care about. And they value creativity, right? They value all the things that an entrepreneur does is because of their values and because they want to be effective in that sense. So it's the how I do things, right? Uh, Guys, if I weren't a good communicator, but I did care about Gen Z and I care about the same things I care about now, I would use another one of my strengths. I would find somebody who's good at communicating and say, hey, if I'm good at graphic designing or if I'm good at doing media or behind the scene things, hey, I'm going to help you do this. Because I'm not a good public speaker. I'm scared to do it. I don't like it, but I'm going to help you serve a cause. Or hey, I'm a good public speaker, but I don't care about what you care about, because that's fine. You weren't wired to. You didn't experience the things that I had to experience to care about this. But what do you care about, and how you can use your gifts in that moment? Does that make sense to you guys? I know I went off on a rant, but that's my story. That's why I'm doing. So I'm interested to see. I would love to kind of figure out with one of you guys. This it'll take like less than 5 minutes. To kind of figure out, hey, what do you uncover your strengths in, and let's see if we can find something that can help you be. Let me see. Anybody? Any volunteers? Okay, give them the mic. Yeah, give them the mic.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. So I want to help you uncover, right? What are your strengths? What do you feel like your life experiences have taught you? What's important to you? To tell me about certain. So we'll start with strengths. So what did you uncover some of your strengths based on the assessments or just self evaluation that you did?
Um, well, one of them was a believer.
Okay.
It says actions of believers are driven by the core higher values that cannot be compromised at the expense of the success. It says believers are drained if their beliefs and values are getting questioned or misaligned with what they have to do.
Okay. So you feel like that's one of your strengths.
Yeah.
You're a believer. Okay. So you feel like you are the type of person that you have a cause, there's something that you care about, and that you're gonna make it happen, and you don't care about, you just care about that specific result.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And let me ask you this, so simple, like based on the answers that you've done so far, right? As we look to let me see, to the reflection. So that is one of your strengths, all right? And there's so much more to this. I just want to show you guys how it looks like practically, right? When I'm coaching somebody, how this looks like. Um, there's so much more depth that we can go into this, but we'll see if we can figure out just with one of each category, see more or less something that you may be interested in. Sound good? So your strength is that you are a believer, okay? Are there any skills that you have that you feel like you know how to do anything that you, or not yet? No? Or yes?
Um,
Anything that you know how to do? Like, are
I
you good at graphic designing? Are you good at content creation, or you don't know yet?
I don't have much experience, but I feel like I would be good with graphic design and like
Okay,
clothing design and stuff
okay,
like that.
cool. You've looked into it, and it makes sense to you. Is easy. You feel like you
Yeah,
understand it.
I like the creativity part of it.
Okay, and that is that one of your other strengths that the assessment said.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Okay, okay, good. So we have our strengths. So you more or less know what your natural strengths are. Okay, you feel like that's something that comes easy to you. Um, Tell me a little bit about your life experiences. What when you wrote down one of the key moments in your life, what do you feel like that moment was?
Well, one of the worst was when I was younger and I used to not get bullied necessarily, but I'd get comments on what I was wearing.
Uh huh.
Um, and I don't know, it just made me feel like like less of
Yeah.
a person, like my light was getting diminished, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Dang,
yeah.
bro. No, that's deep. I appreciate you sharing that. I think that's it's really interesting, right? We all go through life experiences, and I mean, as a person of faith, I believe that. Listen, I'm sorry you went through that, but these are all moments that you are able to um to lean into, and that I believe God turns actually for good, and they actually align with your purpose. No experience is wasted. How do you feel about that experience now, like looking back on it?
Well, now I realize that they were just kids like trying to be mean and stuff, immature. But there is like I do think about how maybe other kids may have went to do the same experience and aren't able to get past those comments quite as easily.
100%. So and you know kids have gone through the same thing you've gone through.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome. And then how do you feel? So so we see guys, and I appreciate my brother for sharing. We'll continue this in a second, but I want us to pause here. You start to see a roadmap, right, guys? You have a strength. He's good at something, right? He has a natural ability. We'll see the skills around it. He mentioned some sort of clothing thing, right? Um, we see something that he cares about, right? Through an experience he lived, which I appreciate you for sharing. And then, can you tell me, as far as values goes, like what is something that you feel like is important to you personally, like based on from this experience? Like, so you said you went through bullying, like you went through that now, or not bullying, but you got made fun of for the clothes you're wearing. Like, what do you feel like is um something that's important, like a value for you that you wrote down?
Um, I think mainly just helping others. Uh, making sure that they don't fall into a spiral of like being anxious about what they're wearing. Just trying to help them get through that. Uh, so yeah, I think a value is just like helping others with
Yeah.
their insecurity about their clothes and stuff.
That's really good. That's really good. And you see how he starts to, as you start answering these questions, some of you, like, you may have started finding the clarity. You start to see the language he uses when you answer these three questions, when you uncover what these three things are and how it fits together. That's really insightful. I appreciate you. So he wants to help others, right? He wants to help others. He wants to be a person that people can lean on, right? These are things that are important to him because why? He didn't have it, right? In that moment where he faced all these things. Is that safe to say? So I think for him now, what this looks like, honestly, leaning into your strengths, right? You're a person that is a what was your first strength again?
It was well, the one I mentioned earlier was thinker,
Thinker,
but
yeah. So
I also mentioned believer as well.
so he's a thinker. He's a person who's going to process that information and honestly, the thinker part. If I were to go back to it, let me see. If you go to thinker, where is that thinker? Uh, you analyze information and you help people process that information. He's also a coach, and he's also, oh, you said a believer as well, right? Oh no, is that what you mentioned or no?
Yeah,
Believer, okay. So he knows how to meet a goal and make things happen. So you already start to see, hey, he has a natural ability to make things happen, to do certain things. Now, and he has a group of people. Now, what can he do? He was talking about a skill that he's learning how to do that he saw and it attracted him that he really feels passionate about. You said it was making clothes, right?
yeah, clothing design,
Clothing design, dude.
graphic design.
You're literally talking. So right now, how this looks like? Let me know how this sounds to you. Right? Do you feel like you could you could be as a believer? You can create a brand, learning how to make clothes, learning how to create just clothes and a clothing line that's specifically guided to help the people feel a certain way, the people that you were when you got bullied with clothes, that makes them look good, but that also communicates a message of confidence and self assurance.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel just thinking about that?
I mean, it makes me feel, hopeful.
Yeah,
Uh, I was, um, I was thinking of incorporating like my beliefs and my faith into what I wanted to do with my clothing. Just designs based off of what I believe in, maybe some messages that people could relate to,
that's awesome, bro.
stuff like that.
Dude, that's 100% awesome. Like, so you guys heard that he was mentioning about just incorporating, like, hey, he likes the idea of making clothes, of finding fashionable outfits that people that he cares about can wear, and getting them out to as many people as possible to be able to help them. Hey, I went through this. I'm here to help you, so you don't have to go through this. Feeling like you know how to dress, or feeling like people make fun of you for the clothes you wear, right? That's super awesome. And then he has a group of people based on his life experiences. Guys, your life experiences, here's a principle that I learned. If you went through something, it's for a reason, guys. If you went something, it's for a reason. And it's the most satisfying thing you can do is to help people who have been in your shoes. That's why I do coaching. That's why I use my strengths to help people, a passion, a group of people for a cause that I care about because I've been through it. People are going to buy his clothing brand, number one, and watch, he's going to be successful. You guys are going to hear his name. People here know his name. Uh, people are one day going to know his name, and people are going to know that he had. People are going to buy his clothes because number one, because number one, they look good, right? Sure, they have to look good. He's going to make stylish clothes that people like, right? But number two, people buy from you, people choose to work with you, people partner with you, people buy your stuff or take your coaching services if they can identify with you guys. If they can identify with you, if they share a common faith, if they share a common experience, they connect with you on a human level, they'll they'll work with you, right? So it's really cool to see this. So, guys, your life experiences, what you've gone through, use your strengths, things you may be passionate about. Do you have all the skills? If you do, list all the skills you have. If you're good at making sandwiches, let's say Santi right now, right? Like if he was really good at making at cooking, right? He said, "Yo, I like food." It's like, okay, let me help the people. Let me just help this group of people eat good and eat healthy and let it taste good, right? There's so many ways you can go about this, but it really goes with what you've been doing. So I appreciate you, bro, for sharing. That was really good, right? Let's congratulate him, right? Afterwards. Let's see. So guys, there's an example, and if you're watching this, right, uh, what are your what are your strengths? What are your passions? What are your values? You align this, and your values are going to determine how that looks like for you. And your passions are where you do your strengths, and your strengths are what you do, guys. Does that make sense for you guys? I'm gonna try to go back. So for you, you have to just answer this one question. Now you can stack that for Santi. I don't want to say, oh, he's just a graphic designer. No, he's gonna he has other types of strengths that he can lean into. He has other experiences that he can lean into. What I would encourage is if he has this one experience that he's lived through, what's the different ways he can serve that group of people, right? In one way, but lean into everything else. And the principle is, hey, for me, I've created a mantra for my life, and I want you guys to reflect for you, right? Um, so I want you guys to reflect on this, guys. And the reality is that this is the first step to finding a purposeful career. This is the first step. You have to know yourself. We kind of did some brainstorming of what it would look like for as an actual career for my brother back there. Um, but but the reality is that but before as we move forward, and I'll have some time for Q&A, but um, well, actually, let's before I move over to anything, I want to see if there's any questions that you guys may have. I'm gonna take probably like if you guys don't have a lot of questions, like 3 questions maybe. We'll start over there. We'll see how much time we have. Um, there's questions that people during our time here. If you're watching live, if you're watching the restream, they wrote down some questions and I had them put in a bowl um and they're gonna get read to me and then we'll take it from there. Okay, guys. So can you guys read me off one question, please?
What if my passion doesn't make money?
What if your passion doesn't make money? That's really interesting. That's really cool. Like what when we talk about passion again, guys, your passion is a group of people. You may care about a people, a cause, or a task. If you lean into your strengths, I believe that you should your strengths. If you're good at something, you can develop skills around it, and if you add those skills, it'll make you more valuable in the marketplace. Your passion is not so much where you make money. Okay, I want to be clear. Your passion is that feeling that you get where you're alive. Where you make money is using your strengths. Okay, guys. Now there are people and experiences, and I've done this in my professional experience, even as I'm as an aspiring entrepreneur. Right, like I use my strengths in different industries until I can so I can finance my dream, so I can finance what I want to do. A lot of musicians do that. They're good at something else and they'll leverage it, they'll do it, it produces income, and they'll use that money to help fund their dream. But your passions is not where you make money. Your passions is where you do that the thing that makes you money. You follow me? Um, the thing that makes you money are your strengths. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
So whoever asked that question, passions is not your passion doesn't make you money. It is your strength that make you money. And use that strength. Um, and if the industry that you're passionate about, there's not a real marketplace for it yet, you may be the type of person, or it may be more of an entrepreneur market, and you're not an entrepreneur. Then what I would encourage you to do is possibly you can finance your your passions, right? If you care about something and you can even incorporate your money and make enough money to leverage your time and actually make money from it. Great question. What's another question?
What if my passion doesn't make any money?
No, that's we just did that one.
How do I make money without selling out?
Repeat it.
How do I make money without selling out?
How do you make money without selling out? Huh. I'll probably need some more clarification on that. But what I think it means is how do you make money without compromising your values and giving up what you care about? And the question is, you shouldn't. You don't necessarily the thing that you have to do, right? Like your strengths are something that you do, you make money, and you serve the community of people that you want to serve, right? That you care about, and your values are what's important to you. So you never have the option of selling out. But I believe that you should be true to who you are, be true to who God made you to be, and the plan, which is another part of what's next, right? May look a little different for you, but there is a way. I believe that you'll never have to sell out. Use your strengths to serve the people you care about in a way that you care about. Um, yeah, I think that's what. I think we have time for. Let's do one more question, and I'll answer like after this. Is just for the actual purpose. After we're done here, we'll be able uh to you ask me any questions as we finish our time here. But just for the Q&A to respect the live stream, I wanna just limit it to one more question. Just one more question, bro.
Can I build a career around multiple strengths, or do I have to pick one?
You can pick a career through multiple strengths. Guys, remember, I so for me, for example, what I do now as a 32-year-old dad and husband, and I do so many things outside. I have my job, I have a business that I'm launching, I have different things that I do. They're all around the same principle for me to help people find their purpose, right? Be and do. Um, so for me, that looks like, hey, I have a musical ability. I still teach music in churches for ministries, right? And I actually teach it for Gen Z for helping the people that I want to. And if they have a musical gift, I'll always do the way I do it is that I'll see, hey, do you have a musical talent? Because I want to be fair to God and also fair to you. That if you have a musical gift, I'm going to teach you. But if you don't, then I'm sorry, like I'm not going to teach you because it's not fair to you and it's not fair to God, right? God created you with gifts, and if music is not one of them, I'm not going to do that. So it looks different. I do so many different things around this, and coaching, and every, it's just one of the ways that I do it. And your career. So here's the main thing, as we wrap our time together, you don't you don't find your purpose in your career. You bring your career to your purpose. I'll repeat that again. You don't find your purpose in your career. You're not going to find your purpose in a career. You're not going to choose a career and then try to fit No, you're not going to do that. You don't find your purpose in your career. You have to bring a career to what your purpose is. And your purpose is uncovered in knowing yourself. And it's really important because, and this is a great question to lead into to wrapping this time up. But um, the next steps for you are honestly for me as a career coach, I love helping people, and in this live stream, there's so much more that we can cover, so much depth that we can do, that we just can't do in this one coaching in this one experience, right? Um, but the three steps to knowing a career is to know yourself, which we've done today. You have to know the marketplace, and then you have to know your plan. Okay. Now it's all knowing the marketplace and knowing your plan is you won't be able to do it without knowing yourself. It's going to lead to frustration, fatigue, and it's not going to work out well for you. Okay. So what I want to share with you guys is that hey, I do group coaching, okay? And if you're watching the live stream, I'm gonna put a link in the description to book a call with me so that we can figure out if how we can work together. And if you're watching this, we can talk afterwards. I have your emails, and we're reaching out to figure out how you can take the next steps. Knowing yourself is only the first step, okay, guys? You have to know the marketplace. You have to know what jobs are out there so that once you know what jobs are out there, now you can go into the marketplace. And like I say, my brother back there who wants to be a graphic designer. Okay, what jobs are out there? All right. Should I start working for a company, eventually start on my own, right? Or do both a little bit, right? Um, what does that plan look like? Financing, networking, skill development. What are things that I still need to learn to reach a skill. A lot of people try to, oh, they find the marketplace and then they just try to, okay, let me just go a major. Like they don't think about a game plan to make that happen. And or some people and they don't know themselves, right? You have to know yourself. Then you have to look what's out there. Once you find something that could be one of the ways your purpose, you bring your purpose, your career to your purpose, that aligns with what you're trying to do, then you can create a plan around it. So that's what the coaching is. Today, we're able to know yourself, but in the next steps of coaching, we will actually figure out, hey, this is what your plan looks like. This is what the marketplace has. Can you find a career that aligns with your purpose already to help, in my brother's case, right, to help uh, uh, Gen Alpha discover what they to help Gen Alpha to to feel confident in what they wear and for their self esteem to be boosted up and to have a community of people who not only dress good but that also not only dress good but that also are together and they they're above or they're not being bullied. You know what I'm saying? So uh, if that is his purpose, that is what the next thing for him to do is. How that looks like, there's so many ways you can do it. Again, you don't find your purpose in your career. You grab a career, you look at the marketplace, what's out there, and now you say, hey, graphic designing as an entrepreneur is one of them. Hey, I'm going to do this, and this is a problem that I can solve, and now I need to create a plan with it. Does that make sense to everybody? I really hope it does. So, um, yeah, guys, I appreciate your questions. We're going to spend a little bit more time here, but I want to respect the stream. So, join our coaching cohort so that where I want to help you. Uh, can I see this real quick? So that I can, if you're watching this, I really want you to click the link in the description below. Uh, we'll get to work together. There's free content on my YouTube channel. For those of you who are here, my YouTube channel is Gus underscore underscore Varela, and there's tons of resources there. There's videos, a few videos that I've launched in the YouTube channel that can help you in this career, in this purposeful career journey for you. But if you want to work with me, the link will be in the description. And yeah, guys, sound good? I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and for joining in today. And yeah, I want to share one more thing with you before I continue, and we'll leave you with this thought. Sound good? Uh, Career alignment framework. Understanding your strengths, passions, and values provides essential clarity, guiding your career path towards fulfilling opportunities that resonate with your true self. Alrighty, guys, I want to leave you guys with this thought, and let's move forward and let's find our purpose together. Sound good? I appreciate you guys.